What's happening, Summer Kings fans? It's Keith Korneluk here with Chris Kalzewski with another episode, 109, of our Media Roundtable.
Yes, the brilliance continues.
I'm Dennis Bernstein.
I'm Charles E. Smith Jr.
Gan Matsuda.
I'm Matt Wright. Dave Joseph.
I'm John Moncrief.
I'm John Hovind, a.k.a. the Mayor.
All right, moving on here. So the Kings Powerplay was ranked 21st in the league last season. 16.2%. What was the key difference between the previous season and what are your thoughts on Jamie Compon's job, and is he really to blame?
Yes, he is really to blame. There's no creativity or imagination with that power play whatsoever. You watch any of the other good teams in the league, and there's different puck movement. There are guys that are moving to backdoor situations. The next time the Kings score a backdoor power play goal will be the first in the 3 years I've been covering him. It's amazing. I refer to it as the four-corner offense. You know, Dean Smith's old basketball where you don't have a shot clock, so you're just taking the air out of the ball and you're just passing it around the perimeter. That's what their power play was all season long. There was no creativity, there was no imagination, and part of it too is also the personnel that they have out there. Now, that's not Compon's fault necessarily, but there is a reason why he's the lowest paid assistant coach in the NHL, in my view. I think it's time to cut the cord and move on.
That's not going to happen. He's got 2 more years.
The power play was much better the year before, and when you talk about personnel, what personnel really was that different than the year before?
Randy Jones.
So Randy Jones was the power play?
Well, the difference.
Couldn't hit the net. Randy Jones couldn't hit the net.
The core of the power play, though, was still there. I mean, it was still the same core. Swap out one or two, I won't even call them key players, just one or two other guys. No, but I do agree that there wasn't a lot of creativity. And what I also found interesting, going back to the end of the season, exit meetings, is that Lombardi and Murray both were a little bit vague when a lot of pressure started coming on Jamie. All of a sudden it was like, well, he's not really the power play coach.
Right.
Well, wait a minute, what? Because all year long, we thought he was the power play coach. So what are you talking about?
But Jamie's got three years left on his contract. Terry Murray's a loyal guy. He's not getting fired. Fans have been banging on me all year. It's not going to happen. The organization's not going to let him go. They're going to figure out a better way to do it. And have a full year of Kopitar. And not for nothing, but Kopitar went on a 20-game streak where he didn't score a goal. Right. Drew started slow in the beginning of the season, so that hurt the power play. I mean, Drew had 40 points this year, right?
Jack Johnson had 1 goal in 45 games?
Yeah, put it on the. I mean,
you couldn't hit the net for 20
that's
games.
The other right.
He's shooting the puck, it's going off the glass.
I mean, same discussion though.
And not that Drew Doughty couldn't get the puck through either. Guys are blocking shots, whatever. It's a completely different ballgame when those guys can't get shots through. You saw when Alec Martinez came in, as soon as Marty came in the lineup and got the puck to the net, goals. Here come the goals. Puck gets on the net, there's goals. And those guys can't get the puck through. Yeah. Your forwards down low can't do anything.
And that's why Quincy was so good here. He got the puck to the net. And it's not Jamie Compon's problem when Jack Johnson shoots 10 feet wide on a power play. It's not. That's execution. You plan, you put your process in place, and then the team has to execute. And when you don't execute, people want to put it on the coaches. The players have to be better. They had to be better last year, and that was the charge from Lombardi. You want help? Help yourselves. Right?
This isn't a fire Terry Murray point, but all the pressure is coming down, like you said, all season on Jamie. Yeah. But if I'm running a corporation and my key vice president is making some bonehead decisions, at some point as the president of the organization, don't I get involved a little bit more? Right. So now I'm saying, just translate that to the Kings. Is it really all Jamie's fault beyond execution? Shouldn't Terry Murray be in there changing up this? We can see it coming from a mile away, strategy to the power play?
John brings up a great point because Terry Murray has said several times the power play they're running is the one he supports, that they get the puck to the point and fire shots on net and go for the rebounds. That's what he wants them to do. So it's not just Jamie Compon. This is Terry Murray, what he wants as well. But Dennis brings up a great point in execution. Doughty and Johnson have to learn how to get that puck to the net, how to change the shooting angle to free themselves. Because what other teams, this started with Game 3 of last season, playoffs against Vancouver. As soon as they started challenging Doughty and Johnson, they shut down the Kings power play. Every team has done that since, whenever those two are on the ice. When Alec Martinez comes out, they don't pressure the points as much. But when Doughty and Johnson are on the ice, they're right on them every time.
Do you feel that Doughty changed his approach, though, on the power play as well? I mean, I just remember, I'm not a coach, but I remember seeing Doughty taking the puck at the point, walking the blue line, and then firing it in to get it on net. it seemed like that's all he did last year.
Well, there's
going
two-
back.
there's two
And this
problems,
season,
yeah.
he wasn't doing that.
Yeah, there's two problems with that. One, he's not doing that, and the other thing that was doing this year that he didn't do last year, he now has a huge windup on his shot from the point.
Yep.
And because of that, John and I could skate and get on a
You
block
can cut
that
your
shot.
gap down really quickly,
You
absolutely.
look at all the block shots.
He takes 5 years to get that shot off. It's
They
ridiculous.
have more block
Five-on-three
shots
situations,
than
too.
shots
Yeah.
on power plays,
Yeah.
and that's an execution issue.
He's got to learn to quit that showy windup and just get that shot on net.
And plus, you want to fire a compound. There's no power play guru out there that you could bring
No.
in. I mean, who you gonna? I mean, you know who? Mark
Dave
Crawford.
Tippett's a
I mean, come
guru,
on, let's go.
He's employed.
So they moved to Winnipeg, yeah.
Sometimes it's the devil you know as opposed to the devil you don't know. I don't know this, wizard that's going to come in and fix the power play. Have Jack Johnson get a shooting coach.
Well,
There's
are
your-
the players
there's your
listening
wizard to fix the power
Are they
play.
listening to Jamie Compound? That's,
Yeah, they listen.
that's the,
Yeah, listen.
well, that's
Yeah,
what it comes down to. The coach has to motivate the players at this level.
Yeah, it's a 100-point team, Charles. They listen to the coaches. This is not an abandoned ship. You never hear players growling about the coaches.
Never.
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 Off or on the record. Nobody's got a beef with Compound or.
Well, not only that, but the penalty kill. The flip side of that is the penalty kill was so good, one of the best penalty kills in the league.
Yep.
It kind of balances everything out. Where you say, well, I'd rather be good on the penalty kill than I would on the power
Amen.
play. I'd take the penalty kill any day of the
That's a
week.
fair point.
Because if
Absolutely.
you're getting teams that are lighting you up on the
It's a
power
very fair
play,
point.
you're in big trouble.
Big trouble.
Well,
So,
the
and
one
especially
thing
the playoffs.
And
The
in this
playoffs
league,
too.
yeah.
Well, not only that, the one thing Terry Murray says that is right on the mark. Penalty kill will win you games, whereas, power play can up and win a game, but a penalty kill will lose you a game every time. It's not good.
If it goes to
He's
your,
dead on about that.
It goes to the real crux of the issue. Top 6 skill players. They don't have them. They don't have the big bopper. They don't have the cleanup hitter up front that could just nail it like a Heatley.
With Braden Shen, I've been hearing about him for a couple of seasons, but is he the whole thing, like I say, in the NFL, about the backup quarterback being the most popular guy on the team? It's almost as if when Shen skates onto the ice at Staples, the skies are going to open up, a band of angels is going to sing, and the Stanley Cup is going to come down.
Well, fans think
Is he going to be that good?
No.
Not
That
yet.
we're looking at
Not yet.
all
Well, he
this
wasn't
time
at the
just
beginning of
waiting,
the year.
Is he that good? Is he that good? Is he that good?
So
But
maybe-
he came up, and what did they do with him when he was here? He came up, then he was a healthy scratch, then he was
Well, it's
all of a
not better
sudden
than
gone.
Kopitar. It's not better than Stoll. But
Okay.
but if you talk to sources, if you talk to scouts around the league, he's a 10-year NHL player. There's no doubt. Across the board, I've talked to a lot of people, East, West, definitive 10-year pro here. Good guy. Probably not the number one. Maybe a 10-year number two. Maybe Mike Fisher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone like that.
So
And-
why is every? But
Yeah, when I
we
talk
keep
to scouts
every
and general
discussion-
managers and juniors, they all
Focus
peg him
on
as a
him.
number 3, maybe a number 2
Yep.
center. And the talk in LA is more like he's the second coming of Kopitar.
Exactly.
Right,
He's not.
exactly.
But I think he's a number 2. I think he's a number 2 on this team.
Eventually.
And I know I'm in the minority here, but I think that has its potential to be next season. I really do.
That's the
A lot of
question. though.
pressure. I don't know.
Well, is he a
But
Brendan
at some point, he's got to sink or swim.
Well, there's a difference.
Is now the time though to sink or
Yes.
swim?
Yeah. With this team, with the talent
That's
level,
not-
that
he
they
needs more
have, with the
seasoning.
parts that they can move,
How much more season
I
do you
think,
get?
yeah, exactly. At
Couple
what
of
point
years.
do you pull the
He hasn't
plug?
been in the end yet.
Couple of years.
I think he's
Right,
but
exactly
I
right.
never played in the end.
Exactly
I
right.
think he's picked up a
You
lot.
let him play there for a while.
With
exactly.
Mac.
Season
Play with
him,
Mac.
he learns the system, and then you bring him up, and you slowly adjust him to what's going on here.
Well, let's talk about a center
You
that
can't just jump him right into the.
But real quick,
throw him
guys,
right into
10
the
seconds.
fire.
Ryan Smith in December, after Shen blew up at the World Championship, said, "I don't know why this guy's not in our locker room." He said that to me, and I agree with him. I thought they misused him when he was here, but I think that's part of because they didn't know what they were going to get out of Clifford, what they were going to get out of Lewis, and I think they kind of got caught with, okay, what do we do? Do we send him back down? Do we keep him here? Do we send him to the A? What do we do? We're not sure. That's why it took so long to send him down in the first place. I think he's gained a lot over the last year, especially at the World Championships, where I think he comes in with more confidence this year and can make the team.
Just looking at the second line, you really want speed and you want skill. And there's one guy, and he's unfortunately not healthy all the time. It's Andre Latiana, who knows the King system. He's played in the A a couple of years. If he comes to camp, healthy and can stay healthy, is he the number? I see him as the number 2. I see Shen as the number 3 on this.
It's not just going to be health of Laktianov. He's going to have, assuming he has enough time to rehab his shoulder, he's going to have to put on some muscle. Because his problem is like Mulder. We could rub him off the boards. Let's put it that way. He's got to have to get stronger because he's not very strong on the puck right now. That's his biggest issue. His ice vision, his playmaking ability. He's got a scoring touch. If he can be a bit more competitive player along the boards, then that's the time.
And you know what, I
Maybe
hate
number
to
two.
say it, but he does have a V on the
Oh,
end
no,
of
not
his
that
name.
again.
When you have a V on the end of your name, the work ethic, there's not a history of a good work ethic when your name ends in V.
But
That's
here's
all
the-
I have to say.
Here's the issue
That's
with
just
this
the way
player.
it is.
And it's not an issue with this player, but it's with the team. There was a guy who was a league executive that came in the press box at the end of last year and said, enough with the Ponikarovskis and the Penners and the Hanses on this team. They have to be quicker and more skill on this team. But here's the issue. Terry Murray back in the day coached the Legion of Doom. Right? He likes big physical players. That's why Ponikarovsky was on his team. The guys in the system are now smaller and faster. Can Terry adapt his coaching to that type of player?
That's gonna be
He hasn't so far. And even Dean even said in the end of the season meetings, Ryan Clough and Joe Pavelski look a lot faster when they make the right plays with the puck. But Devin Setaguchi on back doors pretty fast, and Dustin Penner couldn't catch up, and that's why they lost that game in overtime. So this team really needs to come into the 2011-2012 NHL, where they need more skill and more speed in the top six, and they got to get away from these big lumbering guys. I mean, maybe as we all talked about, maybe Penner wakes up, but these guys like Kozun and Acevedo, get them up here and see what they can do. Because you know what? If Nathan Gerbe can play in this league at 5'5". I don't got to finish the sentence.
Yeah.
You can do it if you give these guys a chance. But the team needs more skill and more speed, because we saw too many plays where the guys wouldn't come back. I mean, Ryan Smith's an all-timer. He's not coming back on defense. He's not playing
Brandon
defense.
Kozun is one of those guys too that at the AHL level everybody was talking about this year and just doesn't get a lot of run. Everybody wants to talk about Shin, or people that quickly look at the stats want to ask, why the left wing Bud Holloway didn't get a call up. But Brandon Kozun, boy, he really had a good season, and that kid is fast.
Yep, get him up here. Well, this is a team executive on a competing team saying, I don't know why these guys aren't up here, because you're wasting time. $3.5 million with Ponikarovsky. 7 goals.
Well, we were on the elevator with the Kings official who said to me, point blank, he said Loktionov has all the skills. He has all this. He is everything that we're looking for. The question is the size. Can he hold up?
Durability.
Is he good? Right, durability.
25
That's the
years
thing.
ago, he was
He
on
has
a
magical
now, not
skills.
so much.
Absolutely magical skills. That's what I was told.
And I see that too. The
Watch him in
problem-
practice.
Oh yeah,
Right.
No, the problem also is that we saw it this year is, he's small and he's going to have to learn to develop, and he's going to have to learn how to do it at the center position because he's a different player on the wing.
He can't play away.
No, he can't.
Right.
He's not an NHL winger. He's an NHL, but he's an NHL center. You see, even when he was up and there were people hammering him, it was like you'd see certain things, and it was like somebody didn't finish a play or whatever, and it's like if that goal goes in, because he'll hit somebody on a back door or whatever, and it's like the vision is amazing. I haven't seen in 10 years since Paul be here. Some of the guys that you don't see that, but. Somebody didn't finish, and that's the
That's
thing is
the
you're
key
going to
right
put you need somebody to finish with him.
There were
So
guys that
people
couldn't keep up with him.
Right, and that's the thing is who are you going to have on his wing? He is not going to thrive. He has to play center, and he can't play third or fourth line center because he's a skilled guy. He's not going to be a grinder energy guy.
All right, Kings fans, so that concludes this installment of the postseason roundtable. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more.
I'm Keith Korneluk.
And I'm Chris Kalazewski.
And thank you for watching Overtime by Kingscast.